The grocery store was almost empty that Tuesday night. But Daniel Reynolds stood frozen in line, staring at the total on the register screen. $47.12. He swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the crumpled bills in his wallet. It was barely enough to cover milk, bread, eggs, and a cheap pack of diapers for his baby daughter, Emily. Behind him, a young woman fumbled with her debit card, cheeks flushed. I don't know why it's not going through," she stammered. The cashier, an older man with tired eyesight, and asked if she had another form of payment. Daniel watched her shoulders sag in defeat, heard the way her little boy in the cart whispered, "Mommy, are we leaving without food?" Something in him cracked wide open. He knew this feeling. He lived this feeling. Before he could talk himself out of it, Daniel stepped forward. "Put it on mine," he said, his voice quiet but firm. The woman's head snapped up. "Sir, no, I can't let you," but Daniel forced a smile. "It's okay. Just pay it forward someday." The cashier nodded and rang it all together. Daniel handed over his last bills and tried not to think about how he'd stretch the rest of the week. The woman's eyes shimmered with tears as she clutched her bags. "Thank you," she whispered. "I don't even know your name." "Doesn't matter," Daniel said, trying to wave it off. "Take care of your boy." She left, and Daniel shuffled out into the cold night, feeling both lighter and heavier at once. The next morning, Daniel sat outside a diner nursing a black coffee, scanning job listings on his cracked phone. He'd been laid off from construction 6 months ago. The odd jobs he picked up barely kept him afloat, and he was 2 weeks behind on rent. He was so lost in thought he didn't notice the black sedan pull up until a man in a tailored suit stepped out. "Excuse me," the man said. "Are you Daniel Reynolds?" Daniel blinked. "Yeah. Do I know you?" The man extended his hand. "Name's Mason. I work for Kensington Development. My boss asked me to find you." Daniel frowned, confused. "Why?" Mason smiled faintly. "That woman you helped last night. That was his daughter." Daniel froze. "What?" Mason nodded. "She called him crying. Said a complete stranger paid for her groceries when her card declined. Said you didn't even tell her your name. He wanted to meet you, but he's got a way of showing his gratitude." Daniel was speechless. Mason handed him an envelope. Inside was a check for $50,000 and a handwritten note. "You reminded my daughter and me that good people still exist. Consider this a down payment on your future. If you're looking for work, my company could use a man like you. Call me anytime." Daniel's hands trembled as he read it over and over. By the time Mason drove away, Daniel sat on the curb, tears streaming down his face, a laugh breaking through his sobs. That evening, he held Emily close, whispering to her, "We're gonna be okay, sweetheart. We're really gonna be okay." And for the first time in months, he believed it. A year later, Daniel stood at the ribbon cutting of a new community center, funded in part by Kensington Development and with a sizable donation from Daniel himself. On the wall hung a simple plaque. "Kindness costs little, but means everything. Pay it forward." As the crowd applauded, Daniel spotted a young woman and her little boy in the back, smiling at him with pride. He smiled back, knowing the world really could change one small act of kindness at a time. Heartfelt message. No matter how hard life seems, one simple act of selflessness can ripple outward and change everything, not just for you, but for others. In a world that can feel cold, kindness is still the warmest currency we have. Be the reason someone believes in good people again.